It's time for the Montreal Canadiens to make a coaching change. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. All right, so we all know how bad Montreal Canadiens have been this year, and I think most of us have come to the conclusion that right now the coach is the big problem here. Now, there have been a ton of injuries for this team. This team had a lot of player movement from last season's playoff Stanley Cup final playoff team to the team that started the season. They weren't going to be as good as they were in the Stanley Cup playoffs last year. This was going to be obvious. They weren't going to be as good. But were they going to be this bad? And I don't think that's the case. The injuries do have a huge impact on how the Montreal Canadiens are going, but there's other things that are happening with the team and with some of the comments made recently by Jeff Petry, and he's done this twice this season, that I think kind of point the finger at the coach. And considering how he's not really developing these young guys that are here, we've all been complaining in general, right? We've all been complaining about that from this coach. I think at this point it's time to let the guy go because I think he's going to be hurting the team, going forward with these young kids. And I wrote a bit of an editorial about it, and I'm going to bring it to you right now. So, I guess I'm kind of shitting on the coach here right now, but there's some comments that came out by Jeff Petry after the Penguins game, and he said some stuff earlier in the season that got to make you wonder what's going on. And I'm gonna get right to it, but first I'm gonna show those comments. So this was said in an interview after the game against Pittsburgh. It's the same things over and over. We're not playing as a team. We're not playing as a group. It's like they're searching to find some people. It's like you're searching to find where people are. Excuse me, couldn't read there for a sec. Seems like there's no structure out there. It's from Jeff Petry. And also, you watch it up top, and there's times when you're scratching your head. Feels like everybody knows where we should be, but we're not going to those places. We're not making it easy for anybody on the ice, except most of the time the other team. All right, so that goes along with comments that he had made earlier in the season about it. They need to simplify things. He's overthinking it in his head, and it makes you think that something wrong with this coach's system, or that it's not being communicated well or taught well. And here's my response to that. The next move Montreal Canadiens EVP of Hockey Ops Jeff Gorton must make is a coaching change. Even though Gorton said at his first press conference that Coach Dom will stay for the full season, I think comments made by Jeff Petry after the loss to the Penguins and some he had made earlier in the season should give Gorton the reason he needs to make the change. Petry's comments about lack of structure on the team versus the Penguins and his previous comment about simplifying the system are keys to the understanding what's really going on with the players. Ducharme's system is too complicated and or clearly not communicated well on a regular basis. If the coach hasn't lost the room yet, he's well on his way to doing that. He's clearly in over his head as a coach at the NHL level. You can see it in his demeanor behind the bench. He kind of looks like a deer caught in the headlights, scared, unsure what to do next. You can tell by the way he plays underperforming vets in place of the youth that deserves the chance and the ice time. He's supposed to be a new age developmental coach, but I see him bungling the development of our top prospects, eroding their confidence, not putting them in positions to succeed, but seemingly doing the opposite. In a lost season, when Montreal has zero chance to make it out of the bottom 10, never mind the playoffs, but to make it out of the bottom 10 in the league, Ducharme's still coaching like he wants to make the playoffs. Read the room, buddy. Your job now is to give these kids some experience, see how they handle all situations. Don't make them afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are how they learn. You're crushing their confidence. They don't learn by being benched for mistakes, playing under 10 minutes a game, being in and out of the lineup, playing with the wrong line mates, not being used to their strengths. How is playing Jake Allen every game going to help Montembeault improve? I know some people might laugh at that, but Montembeault hasn't been given a fair chance to really show us what he's got. I've seen some flashes of some things that I would like to see some more of him, and there have been games where he should have been put in. And Ducharme, I think in his last press conference, kind of admitted that he's been overplaying Allen. So how is Montembeault going to improve? If Cole Caulfield is going to stay up with the big team, how is playing him on the bottom six role? He's on the third line right now. How is that going to help him? Send him to Laval to dominate if you're not going to give him the ice time and the opportunity here. The right thing was finally done for Norlinder. They sent him back to Sweden finally. Why not do the same for Cole and send him to Laval? The future of these kids and this team is what's important now. Not trying to save a season that's unsavable or save your job, which is more and more unsavable with every mistake and every loss. I know Jeff Gorton said he wants to take the time to get to know this team, the players, the coaching staff, etc. For the youth in this organization, I don't think there is any more time to waste. If you don't know this coach by now, don't wait any longer. Make a move for the sake of the good prospects that are here right now. And I think right now, because I don't think Dom would survive for next year anyway. Here's what I would do to move forward. And not have to look outside the organization to change coaches and not to have 3 head coaches on the payroll for this season because Claude Julien's still on the payroll. This is a suggestion made to me by my buddy Patrick last month in a live stream, and I've seen it lately in the last few days all over Twitter, and it makes a lot of sense. Promote associate coach Luke Richardson to interim head coach. No, he's not French, but after the good job he did in last year's playoffs when Coach Dom had COVID and was in quarantine, I think the fans and media would accept him on an interim basis. He's qualified and could hardly do worse than Dom has. Don't replace Dom on the staff either. It seems that I don't know, but it seems like the team performs better when there's 3 coaches and not 4. I don't know if that's an actual fact, but it's an observation from me. Even in the last season, even in the lost season, as this one is, a coaching change has to happen. The situation here is going to get toxic for everyone, and it'll take longer for this team to turn things around because of that toxicity. Don't wait too long. Pull the trigger now, Mr. Gorton. All the evidence you need is there. As fans of this once glorious team, we are begging for it right now. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And thanks a lot. Subscribe and ring that notifications bell. And hey, give a thumbs up.